So I'm thrilled to be doing this conference because I've always been interested in the possibility that the world could be a better place. And even when I was very young, I was interested in how I could be a part of making that possible. And I knew it had something to do with understanding. So when I went to university, I got into what I thought would give me the best understanding of what makes people tick, that would help me change the world and make a contribution in the best way possible. So I did anthropology. And what we learned was that if you understood things better, you could maybe have more of an impact. But the more we studied in order to help, the more we realized it was more complicated than you realized. So there was no end to understanding. Every piece of research helped you see how difficult and complicated. So by the time you got professional level, you realized, oh, anything you do makes things worse. It's really complicated. There's very little you can do. And during that time, I came across the work that my aunt and uncle, George and Linda Pransky, were doing. And George said to me, you should get involved in what we're doing, which in my mind was psychology. And I wasn't interested because I didn't want to help people feel better. I wanted to make the world better. To me, that was superficial. So I kind of said, yeah, thanks very much. I'm busy doing something meaningful. Not impactful, but the best that can be done given the challenges and complexities. Well, bit by bit, I got interested in what they were doing, and what I discovered was they weren't just focusing on psychology the way that psychology existed in my mind, but they were looking at a way of understanding the mind that pointed to how and why people were enabled when they were enabled. We've all seen some inspiring individuals that have changed the world in tremendous ways. Well, what's behind that? And we can see that there are commonalities between the way that they feel, the way that they think, the way that they act, the way that they engage. But we don't see the link between that and us, and that's what they were looking at. How does the mind work such that human beings run the gamut from, Gandhi to Laurel and Hardy to, I don't know where your scale runs to. And what I found that instead of being a superficial investigation into individual worlds and feelings, the psychology that they were looking at was an enabling understanding that showed us how and why we use the power of the mind effectively when we do, and how and why we get lost and struggle when we do. And I was very intrigued in that for myself, and what I've discovered for myself is it answers all the questions. And after learning that, my career took off. My relationships stopped being the same pattern over and over again, with me wondering, what's wrong with me? Why do I attract this? Why does that always happen? I could see it very clearly. It was coming from me in a way that I could understand and adjust. So my relationship life changed. My parenting's changed. Everything is different. And as I got involved in trying to share this with others, because I saw, well, if I want to make the world a better place, I can show other people that there's more well-being, more clarity, more impact available for them. And that's what I wanted to do, and they graciously were willing and able to kind of take me on and show me how that was possible. And I've been fascinated by the way in which people's understanding of the mind either makes them the victims of the way they've habitually used their mind, or enables them to whole new possibilities. And I've seen that in every single field: mental health, relationships, business, education, and it's always the missing piece. So as the years have gone by, I've started to appreciate looking at the world and listening to my friends and my clients and reading the newspapers and watching the television. Everybody's missing this vital missing piece. And that's why things are so complicated. So you open the paper and say, what are we going to do about this? And I'm like, I know, but I'm not writing the article and I'm not making the decision. So that sense of having a vital missing piece of the puzzle has grown more and more and more over time. So in our organization and with my colleagues, we've looked to have more and more impactful ways of providing that piece to the people that would use it the best. And this conference is our attempt to make it fully available to the people that be most interested and use it most, so that if it is the missing piece in enabling us relative to the problems and challenges individually, familially, community, globally, economically, that can be considered and taken on board in a serious way, and I can enjoy reading the paper, knowing that there's nothing else I need to do to help everybody do what they're trying to do to make this world a better place.